and how artificial intelligence is used in the architectural, engineering, and construction world. We want to talk about how we use it as structure tone, but also give you an example using OpenSpace and BuildDots in structure tone, and how these two platforms are using actually AI. But then I think we always need to remember that human beings drives the technology implementation. So that's also why today we are going to talk about Women in BIM, what we do as a global networking group. I'm Francesca Lofiego. I work as a digital lead for Structure Tone London, but I'm also head of regional lead for UK and Ireland for Women in BIM. So I'm very happy today to represent not only Structure Tone, but also Women in BIM here today in Dublin. I hope today I can bring my experience from a consultant point of view, but also from a construction point of view, because as you can see, in my career, I've worked for an architectural practice and also for construction and industries. I have a background in architecture, conservation, and also a master's in BIM at UWE in Bristol. Structure Tone is a tier 1 construction company. We mainly work in fit-out. The US has probably the biggest numbers of offices spread around many of the US states, but we actually have 14 different brands under the STO building group. But we also have an office in London, as I said, and one in Dublin. Today we have representative of Dublin in this room as well. We recently also opened a new office in Amsterdam. In London and also in Dublin, we mainly work, as I said, in fit-out projects, and our clients are blue-chip clients or also financial, they work in the financial sector, professional media, and legal sector. So we have a quite broad variety of different clients, and we deliver very high standard projects, not only from a design point of view, but also from a data and BIM point of view. Okay, so before we talk about artificial intelligence and how this is used in the AEC world, I think we need to understand what are the current challenges in this world. First of all, I think this environment is very fragmented. If you think about it, a lot of companies and a lot of people are trying to deliver one single job. So you have the construction company, consultant, subcontractors, manufacturer, the client. They all work for different companies that have probably different levels of technology implementation. And this fragmentation doesn't help at all the digital implementation. There is a very big cultural resistance. I'm sure each of you in this room have faced this problem in the past, hopefully, but also in the present. People don't want to implement new technologies. They always tell me, but we have built building for the last years without any BIM, without any data. Why should we use BIM? Why should we use technology right now? Well, I think we are responsible, all of us, to make sure that the message we deliver to people that talks to us like that is that BIM is here to enhance the process. BIM is here to add value to the project. And it is important that we do that in order to have a wider team embracing these new technologies. We talked about a skill gap this morning with Lauren. I completely agree with her presentation. We are currently hiring at Structure Tone, and we are finding so many problems in finding the right people. I was thinking that probably one of the reasons why we have this problem is because the young generation, if they want to work in a digital world, probably they don't think about construction. They think about tech, finance, but not construction. So I think we need to try to probably go to universities, go to schools, and tell to these students that we are implementing technologies, and if they are interested into working in a great environment where you build something with your colleagues, also using technologies, that's probably how we attract this new generation as well. Handover to maintenance. Again, this is a topic that we also talked about this morning. We spend a lot of time creating these 3D models, so detailed, with data embedded, but then who is going to use these models? Who is going to use this data? Well, hopefully the client. But are we 100% sure that the client is able to use this data? Yeah, sometimes yes. I have been working with companies and clients that actually require higher standard of data, but some other companies don't have the skills to manage the amount of data that we provide. And we were talking about how much data do we need to produce? Is it too much? Is it not enough? I think that's a big topic that is actually going around in a lot of conferences. I think we need to educate the client to understand how to better use this data to make sure that during the maintenance phase, you can really track what your building does in terms of consumption, for example. So this is a very big gap that we need to fill. And again, we have this responsibility. The last point is commercial procurement. I was very happy this morning to listen to a QS asking questions about BIM, because I think in the industry, QSs, commercial managers, see a BIM just as an added cost. It's not something that we can add as a value. But we have to, as I said, create a cultural shift. We need to change their minds and show them which one are the benefits of having a BIM project, of having AI, in our projects. That's the only way we can convince a QS. So looking at these challenges, my question is, do you think that AI can address all these problems? My answer is yes. But the problem is, are we ready to do that? Well, looking at this diagram, probably not. As you can see, construction is just at the bottom of the chart of the AI adoption. So that's also why I was thinking about students who probably don't think that we are ready enough to implement technology, and that's probably why they don't really join us. So we need to do something here. We need to make a change. And again, I feel responsible to make a change, and I'm sure that all of us can together create this cultural shift. So I think that in the AEC environment, we use AI in a different way. So let's see how. Architectural and engineer use AI. They use AI for generative design, to optimize the spaces, and also to analyze the structural analysis. On the other hand, construction use AI mainly for safety reasons, project scheduling, cost, and recently also robotics and automation. Probably BID and sustainability are the 2 points where architect, engineer, and the construction world use AI in a similar way. So looking at how we use AI, I think we can also create and talk about 3 different types of artificial intelligence: generative AI, predictive AI, and reasoning AI. While the first 2 are quite established now, most of you probably use generative AI and predictive AI. A lot of software also use these 2. The third one, reasoning AI, is just emerging. And I've seen software providers that are starting using reasoning AI, but again, it's on early stages, so we will see what happens in the next years. Generative AI, basically, you use generative AI to create a new content. Predictive AI forecasts the future. And what is reasoning AI? You evaluate to make an informed decision. So the AI uses the data that you put into the platform, let's say, to just evaluate and make an informed decision. So how do we use AI in structured tone? I think that the best use of AI at this stage, not only in structured tone, is to replace repetitive works, because probably as an industry we are not ready to implement AI fully. So if we start using it by replacing repetitive tasks, I think we are starting with the right step. We also use it for tenders, bid to create images, mood boards, but also for planning and scheduling. Specifically on this last point, we have been using OpenSpace for a lot of years now, and we recently have used also Build.dots. So today we have a great opportunity to compare these two platforms. I don't know if you heard about it, probably yes. They are kind of similar because they both use a camera on top of a helmet that you need to walk the site every week to record images from site. These images get uploaded into the cloud and everyone from everywhere can access site remotely. So what is the output? While OpenSpace focuses more on the journey, so you track what is happening on site and focus more on the 2D drawings and compares the images to the 3D model. Build.dots is more connected to the program. So while OpenSpace tells you what is there, what is on site at the moment, and from an AI perspective, it tells you what is present because it can capture the image and it can also understand what is happening on site at the same time. So it tells you on a 2D drawing, for example, how many drywall you have built so far. Build.dots on the other side tells you how far along you are to get to the next milestone, for example. And when it comes to AI, it really tracks the progress, and it actually uses the predictive AI to tell you, based on what I've captured so far, I can tell you that you can achieve your milestone on, for example, installing the FCU. So if you have to build, 2 more floors and you have to complete all your drywall, if you continue like that, you can achieve that deadline. So I think they are both very useful tools. It depends on how you can use it and what is your purpose to use the tools that kind of drives the decision of picking one or the other one. There is also a difference in terms of cost, but I will let you find it out. So, of course, as you can see, these images are also other images in this presentation have been created by the use of AI. We always need to remember that even though AI is a great tool and we all need to use AI, we cannot forget about the human touch. And that's probably also why we have today Women in BIM. Women in BIM is a global networking group that drives the innovation, support the innovation, reminding us that even though we have all the technologies, we always need to remember that people drive these technologies and only we decide how to implement technologies. Women in BIM has more than 4,000 members all over the world, in actually 120 countries. This is how we are spread around the globe. Women in BIM was founded almost 12 years ago by Rebecca De Chico, and Rebecca De Chico has been supported by 146 regional leads. It's not going? Okay. Why do we have these regional leads? And today we have regional leads in the room, so thank you for your support. Because we need to support people regionally. We cannot really support people from Australia, where Rebecca is based, for example. These people help other women in the industry, support women in the industry. And how do we do that? We do that following our core objectives. Our core objectives are attract and encourage new people, promote and support new people, and especially women in the industry, and advance and retain. As you can see, we start from the very beginning of our career to the end. So we want to encourage new women to join this industry. We all know that this is a very male-dominated world, but I'm happy to see a lot of women today here. We want more and more women to join us. So we try to attract them. So we go to schools, we talk to kids, and we explain them what is the construction world and why women should join this environment. We promote and support women. How do we do that? We organize a lot of events. We have a lot of articles, and we also have a mentor scheme, and I will talk about it in a minute. And then we advance and retain women in the industry. Unfortunately, we have noticed that a lot of women who join the AEC world leave the same industry after a few years, probably for personal reasons, but also for reasons related to work. We don't want that to happen, so that's why we are here also to try to retain these women in the industry. As I said, we organize a lot of events. Next event in London is for Christmas. You can reach out to Emma Hayes, who is the regional lead for Dublin, to check what are the events here in Ireland. We have education sessions online and in person. We also have a lot of media, podcast, article in our website. And as I said, the mentor scheme is probably the biggest activity that we run every year. In particular, the mentor scheme starts in January when we open all the applications. You can apply as a mentor or as a mentee. And in June, we basically have all the matches ready. How do we create these matches? We interview each mentor and each mentee. We ask them 4 or 5 questions to understand their interest. And based on their interest, we try to match mentor and mentees together. From June to December is when the mentor scheme starts. We provide one session, about 1 hour per month, where the mentee can ask as many questions as she wants to the mentor, and this way she can feel supported. What we always say to our mentees is that we don't want to give you a technical support, because you can find technical supports online. What we really want to give you is the human touch, is what the internet cannot give you. So if you have any problems in your work career, if you don't know how to achieve your next goal, how to achieve your next promotion, maybe we can talk about it. Actually, it's very interesting to notice how a lot of mentees have actually the same goal. That is, I want to either get promoted or I want to get better in my presentation skills. And that's actually quite interesting. And being involved with women in BIM really tells me what are the main difficulties that we face in this industry. And it's good to understand how we can also support these people and help these people to try to overcome these challenges. So these are the great numbers that we have achieved from 2020 to 2024. This year has been the best year so far. We currently have 312 matches in 78 countries. So I guess if you want to join the mentor scheme next year, starting from January, please apply. You are more than welcome. If you are a man or a woman, we welcome everyone. We have a website, we have a LinkedIn page where we post all our events and the article and also the podcast. So please join us, also because in Ireland we really need to expand our networking group. Thank you very much.